There was supposed to be the opposites. Either one or the other one should exist. And if one was taken, all that was left was the one in the beginning, the primordial chaos. But the memories were blurry. Sometimes they learned things at their own pace. Other times, someone forced them to. There was a pretty intrusive image of a cauldron that was almost burned into their psyche, even though Innocent Buu seemed to have a better recollection of it. Super Buu also had to admit that sometimes he could remember. There was the wizard, Bibidi, the one before Babidi, who woke them up. But they didn't create them. They had memories of being as old as time, and yet they felt weird anxiety each time they thought about the cauldron. Right now, they were mind-melding, connecting in a way that hadn't been possible before, when they considered each other a complete opposite, when they struggled for control, when he ate him in order to be the one in charge. But they weren't the only ones that the being known as Majin Buu consisted of. In fact, there were the secondary ones to the one in the beginning. Right now, a dilemma was posed. Can they exist separate from it? Can they combine their forces to expel this thing from their system? Right now, they were standing in the whiteness of the void, just like that weird place that Gotenks and the Namekian tried to trap them in. Super Buu started to then have some second thoughts. Was it even worth it? Wouldn't it be easier to give up to their primal instincts and let it go? After all, he was merely an extension of chaos. Maybe the round one was lulling him into some false sense of security so he could expel them both. Maybe. But then again, he saw his thoughts, many of them being affected by the Kai, and full of appreciation for life. Appreciation that was awakened by the moments he spent with Hercule. A reminder that the world around them mattered, that it was there for them to experience, not to smash into pieces. All of this was confusing.
You're trying to get rid of me?
The voice was screechier, and even though he was smaller than the pair of them, there was something terrifying about its stature.
You are no longer needed. We can go do well without you.
Super Buu gritted its teeth.
Yeah, get lost. Boo and Boo don't need you.
Innocent Buu added, standing in defiance.
You morons! You do not exist without me! You are just pieces of me, not the other way around! I was there from the beginning! I am Majin Buu!
The entity started to hit its chest. It was true! To the point, in its purest form, they represented their very essence, but there was one notable difference.
You used to be dumb,
Super Buu uttered.
What are you talking about? We used to be dumb! No, I am the smartest Buu!
The tallest of the margins grinned.
Without me, you are back to Crazy Land. Without him, well, everything good about us is gone. So get lost. Stop that! You'll be gone. The Kai is tricking you!
The shortest of the Boos looked furious right now. Super Buu turned his head to the round, gentle facial features of his rounder alter ego. They were reminiscent of the being that had influenced his mind all those years ago, and yet they still managed to oppose the voice. They still were destructive, maybe a little bit gullible. That's why he was here, the smart one.
We don't want you no more,
Innocent Buu added.
No!
It is a hard thing for mortals to comprehend, literally wrestling with your own mind. It's even harder when it's your own body. Buu let out another ungodly roar. What the Z-Fighters witnessed was seeing Majin Buu as if they were possessed. He roared and screamed in pain, stopping himself from lashing out. But the very fact he was doing that stopped Gohan from stepping in.
Come on, buddy. You can do it, Buu!
Hercule was pumping him up.
Beat that evil Buu!
And after another scream, Super Buu spat something out. It looked like a piece of bubble gum. His eyes turned to white from bloody red as he was examining his hands, breathing loudly, as if he were expecting to be gone in a second.
Buu, is that you? Are you there?
Super Buu was about to answer, but his body contorted for a moment, reshaping him into a rounder figure.
Boo is here, Hercule. Hey, B.
The childlike happy figure smiled wildly, causing the puppy to run onto him and lick his face. After a moment, he walked back into the muscular appearance of his less friendly-looking form. Buu was confused for a second but started to sniff him again. The Namekian and Gohan moved slowly toward him to try and maybe think of attacking. Then the dog started to yap happily and gave him another lick, much to the shock of the entity.
Wait. Me?
You gave him a cautious pat.
How does this work now?
The shorter Namekian looked to his taller kinsman.
There are two of them. At the same time.
The older one repeated. The weird warp occurred again.
I checked in, so he's not gone. We're both here. We're roomies now.
Now he understood how this could work, despite what the one in the beginning claimed. He kept his promise. He didn't let go. Speaking of the one in the beginning, an unearthly roar was heard, and a small pink silhouette charged toward him, almost hurting B. The hit was very powerful. The entity was giggling maniacally, but its red eyes were filled with hatred. Super Buu warped back and turned his head to Gohan.
Hide, everyone! No!
And the beast started to shoot around the beams of power, utterly demolishing what was left of the lookout. Gohan was able to push it away, only for the others to start evacuating the crumbling temple. Videl grabbed her father and B and flew into the sky.
Hold on, Dad,
she yelled as the whole structure was no longer stable. Meanwhile, Super Buu knew that the one in the beginning would cause total chaos and mayhem, so he flew next to Gohan to join in the fray to stop it. The childlike entity finally freed itself from their grasp, punching its chest.
All right.
Third one. Oh, what's that? The half-Saiyan asked.
This is how I was originally. Pure and wild.
Is it stronger than you were in our fight? Gohan's eyes narrowed.
No, but there is one key difference.
What's that?
It's insane.
So we have to destroy it?
Yes, every tiny bit.
All right, let's go. And the both of them charged to attack. Sometimes the two Boos sharing one body warped between their forms to surprise their opponent. Even an entity as chaotic of an entity as such as Kid Buu, called that by Gohan, was quite surprised to see them like that. It didn't seem to be interested in absorbing them anymore, as it seemed that it had reverted to its more primal instincts. It wanted to bite, hit, scratch, devour, kill. And for now it had the fight of the centuries. Gohan, though, was trying to feel it out, fighting smartly. Super Buu, however, noticed how weak they were. No surprise, a lot of their latent power went into the other one. Still, they were not going to give up. They were alive, and their minds felt much more quiet without that third voice. So was desire to kill. Was it his all along? Or did his other half change how he felt about the world? It didn't matter now, though as he now was fighting with his warped dark reflection, it was less of a priority. It seemed that they were winning as well for the time being. The problem was that it just kept returning. It wouldn't stop. Even after it supposedly evaporated, he kept coming back, regenerating and giggling like a madman, not seeming to be tired. All right, any ideas? Gohan started to grow tired. He was stronger than the opponent, sure, but coming back continuously was rather disturbing for a mortal.
Well, I guess I should have taught you that one.
They both heard a familiar voice. It was Goku, and with him was Vegeta. But weirdly enough, the one wearing a halo was Gohan's father. How did you... But you were...
Well, I owe Kai a favor. Anyway, we can use the spirit bomb, but I don't think we have time to teach,
Goku said, seeing as Kid Buu was charging up. Gohan had to kick him away. Super Buu turned his head toward the Saiyan, completely surprised by the presence of him and the other warrior that died fighting him. Together with them there was someone resembling the meddling Kai, except he was much taller, but the face matched up somewhat. Come to think of it, he kind of resembled the other guy that used to hang on by his side all those years ago.
Oh, hi. Nice to see you fighting for us. That other Buu is pure evil, correct? The spirit bomb should purify that.
We think so.
Super Buu was utterly surprised and confused.
All right, then they will bring people back. We'll just need everyone's energy.
Vegeta shook his head in disbelief.
And how do you suppose you'll ask for said energy, Kakarot? Just ask nicely.
You know what? That's precisely what I'm gonna do. Thanks, best buddy. But how can we transmit my plea to everyone?
The Kai looked slightly shocked, still eyeing the white-eyed Buu fighting on their side. I mean, I think I can do all that. And Goku then started to charge his attack. with Gohan giving Kid Buu a beating with the assistance of the ever-shifting Boos and Vegeta. In the meantime, the sky turned black, and from afar, they could see the silhouette of Shenron.
People of Earth, hear me! I am now fighting a terrible evil named Majin Buu. Please, raise your hands to the sky and give me your energy!
How did they find them so fast? Gohan asked Vegeta.
Well, we asked the Namekians to wish for Porunga to find them.
The prince looked a little bit embarrassed. You used one set to...
Shouldn't you be focusing on the fight?
It was like trying to fight out a never-tiring wasp. There was something off about how quickly he regenerated. Maybe it was a flip side of them separating. Could they regenerate? Did he take it all? They would have to find out.
Guys, there's a problem. I don't think everyone's helping. They're ignoring me.
Gohan felt even more embarrassed than Vegeta did just a while ago.
I know who they'll listen to. Supreme Kai, can you grab the one they call Hercule over there? He should be with the rest.
I mean, all right. It's Capito Kai right now, by the way, but it's complicated.
We considered options,
Vegeta added, after the Kai vanished and reappeared later very confused, but Gohan quickly explained to him the situation.
Hey, what's the big idea? Why are you ignoring my friend? We're here fighting the evil Majin Buu and we need your help. This is me, the savior of Earth and the world martial arts champion, Hercule. Now please raise your hands so we can put an end to this terror, yeah!
And suddenly, the energy started to flow, with Capito Kai and Vegeta being hardly able to believe their own eyes. Suddenly, the orb of energy started to grow massively, big enough for Kid Buu to notice it and feel some respect toward it.
All right, gang, you got your shot. You better not waste it, Goku.
As Gohan and Vegeta dodged to the sides, Kid Buu realized what was planned and started to zigzag around the scene. Super Buu decided to punch him back into the position and grab him by his antenna. The smaller of the two started to wriggle maniacally, so they morphed into their innocent state to gain a better grasp on them. He could escape at any moment. He was moving really quickly. But there was one more option, one last miracle they could hope for. As they morphed back into Super Buu, he reinforced the grab and bit into him.
Wait, Boo, buddy, what are you doing?
Hercule called what was happening first, as the enormous projectile was approaching. Super Buu thought to himself rather loudly.
Well, Goku said it purifies evil. Let's see what kind of creature we are right now.
And then, like a meaningless rock falling into the sun, they took a dive, submerging themselves into the spirit bomb. The surface of the cauldron was showing the signs of boiling, but the witch wasn't quite done with it. Suddenly, a particularly large bubble appeared, only to burst as fast as it appeared. Still not good enough, Maba thought. It needed some more adjustment. As she kept adding ingredients into the mix, there was something odd in the air. She sighed deeply, looking at her latest creation and then knocking on the door.
Good evening, Doctor. What a surprise to see you here,
Maba said without emotion. Arinsu gave her a wicked smile. Always nice to see you, Maba. Shall we begin? And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now.